Hey guys, and welcome! Today we are going to talk a little bit about character development and how it pertains to your game. Some of you guys who don't have any character or storyline to your character or to your card game or board game, this is probably not relevant, but if you want to stick around and enjoy, it might pick up some tips maybe for another game. So what this is really meant for is for, like I said, those of you guys who have a game where you have a little bit of a storyline, or even if you just have main characters that you want people to get familiar with. So it's always good to take and do a little bit of a backstory on a character. People get attached to their favorite characters that way. So that's what we're going to do in the next couple of episodes. I had intended on doing a Spawn 300 review. I was kind of going to step out of the box a little bit, but a couple of things happened that might have to be postponed for a little bit. But if you are out there, Spawn 300, a lot of cool covers out there, guys. Anyway, so what we're going to do in the next couple episodes, I'm going to introduce you to some of the characters in our storyline, so that you guys can see how to get familiar with a character. And then when we're done, I'm going to take some of the other pictures and prototype drawings that I have, and I'm going to put a little story together showing you kind of how things unfold in our story utilizing the artwork that I have. Again, mind you, this is all prototype art, so as you can tell, you know, some of this stuff is going to be pretty raw and done as somebody, like I said, who likes to draw. I did take a couple art classes in the past, but it was never like something I, thought I would end up doing. Everything I did on my own, so bear with me. But that's okay, because it's really just getting the point across to all your fans. Anyway, so we're going to start here with the Dark Priest. The Dark Priests come from in the storyline, there's a Light Council and a Dark Council. These Dark Priests, as you can see here, they're sent by the Dark Council to take care of Oguna, who the Destroyer, who he destroys Inawa, the creator, in the beginning of this storyline, and becomes kind of embedded as this ball of energy, comet looking meteorite thing in the planet's core of Mindrin. So the Dark Priests start out kind of like I've showed you this picture before. This kind of lanky and creepy and blindfolded, and eventually they're going to be turned into something a little bit more. Now this is what I have in mind for down the road. Here's a couple pictures of them. As you can see, much different, bigger, bulkier wings. I had intended on utilizing Oguna, his picture here, but of course he ends up looking like this. So the Dark Priests are basically these guys. They're sent down to Mindrin to contain Oguna's magic or power as it's slowly seeping out of his dormant shell and kind of permeating the lower crust of Mindrin, creating caverns and glowing things of green bioluminescence everywhere. So they come down to kind of take over and contain it by forming a circle around him or nearby him, kind of like this figure eight looking thing. So they're kind of next to him in a ring to cause the energy to come back around through them and back into himself, and just to contain it. And one of these Dark Priests, Lethalis, this is him. This is a couple concept drawings of him. He wants Oguna's power, but he doesn't want to take over Oguna's job, because what he wants to do is, while everybody on the Dark Council is thinking, hey, our Dark Priests have got things under control, everything's good, they'll monitor until we can figure out how to wake the big guy. And Lethalis, once all the other Dark Priests are in their trance, kind of containing this power of magic, seeping everywhere, he decides to step out of the ring quietly and breaks that circle, and unbeknownst to the Dark Priests, they don't know what's going on, so the energy slowly starts seeping into the planet in the underrealm, as we call it, and they are unaware of what's going on. So Necromancer kind of becomes this, as he names himself, Lethalus the Necromancer, becomes leader of kind of big fish in a small pond type thing. He's got all the power he wants. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. Nobody knows the wiser, and he can do this for as long as he wants, and nobody's gonna know what's going on. And you know, he's kind of in the driver's seat at this point. So what happens is that when people or creatures or something dies up above, of course, it's common for people to bury the dead. And once the dead are buried, then Lethalus kind of reaches up through the grave and pulls them down into Underrealm to serve him. All fleshy and bone and undead. Undead are kind of like these guys here. So here's three concepts of them. This one's my favorite one. I think I've shown this one before. And notice he's got the big axe swing in there. And then, of course, the one that ended up in the game, this guy here, he's kind of just a soldier, you know, all done up, pretty common, pretty easy. They're in all races of undead are going to be in this storyline. So undead Minotaur, undead orcs, undead elves, you name it, you're going to see undead variations of them in the storyline. Right now, this is more humanoid, so more human character. And then you can see this guy's all the side profile here, which is all fleshy and torn away and so on and so forth. Okay, so you got the Dark Council sending down the Dark Priests. Well, the Light Council has to send somebody, and they want to be a little bit less conspicuous. Is that what I wanted to say? So they send down Alistar the Watcher. So here we have Alistar. This is what he ends up being. I want to show you that one right off the bat. So this is our Alistar, which is kind of currently in the game. And he started out as more of a human, but he wanders around for a while making friends with an elf, kind of talking to him spiritually, you know, and, you know, it gets to a point to where he actually can communicate back and forth with Alistar. And eventually some part in the storyline, which is written in the early parts of this book, this elf dies, and in honor to carry on this elf's legacy, he takes over the body, and nobody knows the difference. You know, elves in this storyline, just like any other elf storyline, they last basically thousands of years. Sorry, knocked my camera down a little bit. Sorry, guys. So he kind of takes over, and then now he can walk amongst everyone and kind of, you know, monitor every situation, what's going on, and watch Mindrin kind of unfold in life. And so some of these other creatures we run into down the road are, of course, our pixies, which are like children-sized pixies that are very mischievous, but they can actually use nature, vines, and wood, and sprigs and of wood, and turn them into pretty formidable weapons. With consequence. They can either help you or they can blow up in your face, kind of thing. Depends on what the pixie decides, you know, how to, you know, they like it, you're good. If they don't, you're having a bad day. And then you got the Minotaur. So I'm going to get to the Minotaur a little bit. I'm going to come back. I'll show you more pictures of Alistar. I'll show you some kind of prototypes of some of them here. Before I move on to the Minotaur. So real quick, we have a couple pictures of him here. We got him here sitting. We got him here up close here reading archive book. And here he is blasted away with his staff of his tri-shard staff. Okay, so now we get to the Minotaur. These guys are kind of introduced early into the storyline. Their leader, Bulfor, and his son, Arturin, are kind of being chased out of the valley and heading. They're kind of funneling. The humans are funneling them towards the orc territory because they don't want them going into surrounding villages and stuff. So initially they're treated kind of like vermin. They're kind of nomadic. I don't want to say kind of in Native American, but they're just like an African nomadic tribe that they're kind of looking for a home. And they use weapons kind of like these, like, you know, here's a wooden Yarwood one-handed sword. This actually exists. My son found this weapon, or piece of wood, and I made it into a pretty cool looking weapon. I'll have to show that in another video. And then they use bone, so you got like this little bone mace, warhammer, not warhammer, I guess it's just skull crusher, I guess, from some kind of animal out there, out and about. And they get chased into the orc territory, and of course the orcs are alerted by their scouts to the big guy, Zagru. Hey guys, we're gonna leave it right there for today. Please leave a thumbs up if you like the video today, and leave a comment down below. We love to hit those subscriptions, so hit that subscribe and like button so that we can bring you better content with better production value. And make sure that you hit that notification bell. Make sure you hit that like. I think I already said that. And follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are at ROM Card Game and at Realms of Mindrin. So for today, guys, thank you so much. We'll continue the rest of this video next week. You guys take care. Love you guys. Bye.
Life my sword out.